We will temporarily put on hold activities dedicated to the extension of the authority of the state and focus on 5 main priorities, all within a posture of impartiality: protection of civilians, facilitation of humanitarian assistance, human rights monitoring and reporting, prevention of further intercommunal violence, and finally support to the IGAD process as and when requested and within capabilities. There has been an unacceptable vilification of the United Nations by some local and national officials with public demonstrations, media articles, and harassment of UN personnel, including to the point of putting their lives into danger. Under these conditions, we will need to consider further drawing down our staff and limiting our activities to the absolute minimum related to protection, human rights monitoring, and support to humanitarian assistance.
I was appalled at the conditions of those living in the protection sites. The onset of the rainy season is exacerbating and is already bringing about a critical situation. The density of the people in living spaces was 13 times the recommended humanitarian minimum. These conditions pose significant health, protection, and security risks for girls and women. Women and girls have been exposed to heightened levels of violence and crime, including sexual and gender-based violence. Attacks are occurring both sides, in the camp and outside the camp. When women leave the camp and search for food for their families, they are also exposed to violence. The population in the camps I saw were overwhelmingly women and children. The women I spoke with were often distressed and traumatized.
It is undeniable that had UNMIS not opened its camps to the fleeing IDPs, thousands more would have lost their lives. It is also obvious that the country has nothing to gain and much to lose by alienating the United Nations and the international community at large. We cannot, of course, take lightly the anti-UNMIS sentiment that is being reflected by demonstrations across South Sudan and may indirectly have led to some SOFA infractions. I would like to assure the Security Council that this is not the policy of the government of South Sudan.